All right, welcome back. Happy Saturday afternoon. I'm hoping that my computer fan will not be extremely noisy today. It has been crapping out. And the last time it crapped out and needed to be replaced was about a year ago. There it goes. Ah, well. So I'm jumping back into my fortress to try to remember what I need to do, what I have already done. And while I'm doing that, I have so many things on my mind. So first of all, some of you might be wondering, why are you making videos about games, and why now? Why haven't you been doing this for years? Well, it wasn't that I didn't have the interest, that's for sure. It wasn't that I was shy. I've never been shy about making videos on YouTube. I've been using the platform at least since the pandemic for storing how-to videos and tutorials for my students, at least in an unlisted format. Sorry, one second. Let's take a look here. So ballista arrows were on my list of things to do. And then let's just check, what do we have in terms of construction materials? And then I'll continue on. Oh yeah, 43, that's good. So I can get much more of this wall completed. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic. Why haven't I made content about my favorite games in the past? And I certainly have been considering this for years. One of the questions that always comes up whenever I'm thinking about streaming, I know that this isn't technically a stream, although I could be recording these live on YouTube, I'm just not. I always find myself asking, what are the standards that I'm going to adhere to if I'm going to be posting this content? I mean, for example, right now I'm dressed in the clothing that I would wear when I don't have company over. And that's a deliberate choice. And why that choice as opposed to makeup and cat ears? And do I want to be consistently one way or the other? And why? I think that, hold on one second. There we go. Just getting some more siege equipment set up. But I think that being a gamer in the body that I inhabit is just kind of a tricky business at the end of the day. And I don't like having to think about what my brand is or should be. Now, going back to what I was saying before about my previous YouTube videos about visual art, I've really been feeling more and more strongly that I'm against compartmentalization. the notion that I keep my personal life over here in this box, and then my professional life is over here in this box, and these are not the same person, and then my hobbies are over here, and my friend groups associated with those things are all different. I really have trouble with that, especially because I've got 2 careers. And for all of my adult life, I've been balancing a career as a visual artist with my career as an art educator. And there's a lot of overlap between those two, but they're not the same thing. And I dislike the notion that they require or should require me to be 2 different people. I'm really interested in being a whole person and showing up as the same person everywhere and for everybody. So on the same YouTube channel where you can view my thesis presentation, here's a video game. Here's me playing a game on the weekend. And I hope that's okay. I've also been considering now for a few years, since I'm comfortable using YouTube to teach art, I have been doing that for years, why don't I officially make this an art channel? Why don't I make a bunch of videos where I paint, show people my work in progress, and then talk about various things, teach techniques, sort of like a paint with me session. Why don't I do those? Or why don't I give art lessons online? And I definitely am not against it. It's something that I've been thinking about now for a few years, about doing this in a more serious and more consistent way. But again, I think I'm still opposed to the notion that visual artist Erin and art educator Erin and gamer Erin are all different people with different channels and different handles. So all of that to say, I suppose, that what I'd like to be able to do is just make more videos where I get to have fun and share interesting things, or things that interest me rather, and talk about various things and kind of see what that leads to, like sort of which things I find myself naturally drawn to making the most. I guess I'm just open to seeing what comes of this. So back to the game. What I'm doing right now is filling in a little bit of this open area, this open space in my main courtyard. Oh, we have more immigrants. We've gone up from 14 to 20, that's good. Animals are stealing my food again, that's not good. Okay, just checking notifications. So what I'm doing right now is I'm paving over some of these open spaces where my dwarves could accidentally fall in and drown currently, because these murky pools are still full because I haven't excavated them all. 1 second. I told you that you are welcome to come in. I told you that you are welcome to come in and hang out anytime that you want to. But banging on the door is not the way to do it, okay, honey? Okay, you want to climb up on my lap? So right now, let's get the mic sorted. Right now, Mom is filling in this open space here. Let me unpause. I'm filling in all this open space so that my dwarves don't accidentally fall down into the water when they're in their front yard. Because they will absolutely do that. And those of you who have played the game are well aware of this. Especially if there's a fight, those dwarves will run and leap into anything, whether it be magma or a waterfall. And so we want to do whatever we can to try to minimize their exposure to drowning, death by drowning. You okay, buddy? Okay. I told you that you were more than welcome to come hang out here, to just let Mom know. Okay. So, I think I've got some extra hives. I'd like to put some of those down. And take my seed stockpile. Let's see. So this is starting to look a bit better. You okay? You all right? You need a Kleenex. Okay, go ahead and go get one. Go on. Come on back whenever you're ready, okay? Back to compartmentalization, you know. I have kids. That is a key part of my life. It's a key part of who I am. Let's make another ammo stockpile for up here. Siege ammo. Boom. Which is something that I need to still be making. But it's not the carpenter who makes the ballista bolts. Gosh, is it the craftsman? No, it's the metalsmith who has to make the arrowheads first. So this is a good time to check my metal stocks. I've got tons of iron. I know that I was working on some steel. So let's get that production up. Drink production is automated now, and that's all looking pretty good. Sticking in some doors. Okay, and then I know that another goal of mine was to set up textile production, which I think I want to do down here. Pause that. What is this alert that we have? Oh, thieves. So let's take a look and see what's happening here, and whether we can send our dwarves out to get a little bit of XP. So let's see, creatures other. So we have 2 kobold thieves on our property that don't belong here. Here's one. Labels together. Yes, Amelin. Yes, honey. And let's see, the thieves are gone now. I'm assuming that they would have run off. So let's go ahead and tell our squad, our little half-filled squad, to go back to training. That's really the best thing that they can do right now. While we're multitasking here, it's a great idea to start excavating around the outside of my perimeter wall here. This is going to be my moat. Typically I would make my moats 4 tiles wide. And then once I've got them filled in, or excavated out and filled with water, I would then put another, say, wooden wall around the outside of that. And then, even then, I'm also careful to make sure that I cut down any trees that are growing too closely to the wall on the outside. any trees that are, let's say, within 2 tiles of the wall, because we know that enemies that can climb will just climb your trees and shimmy on over, and we don't want that. We don't want them to be able to path in. Oh. So now it sounds like we have a caravan. Okay. But before we get to the caravan, there's a million things to do. I've got a ton of wooden blocks now, so I'm going to go ahead and continue filling in. What else? And I'm also going to fill in up here on level 0 and give the goose coop and chicken coop a roof. Let's see. If I were in the habit of editing these videos, I would probably just edit my way through this, cut this part out. I think if I were you, I probably wouldn't want to watch these trade screens over and over because they take a while. They take some time to get through. And maybe you won't find them that interesting, but in any case, I have not been editing any bits and pieces out of this playthrough. It just is what it is. Steel anvils would be nice to have. Any weapons would be great. Training weapons, I won't turn those down either. For pets, I will take more dogs, but I don't have a need for anything else. I will say that typically when I've been playing in recent months, I've been using mods, and I really enjoy mods that give me access to exotic starting creatures, just because I think that it's any mod which creates more variety in the game is just a good thing. Fish, okay. Sure. Some veggies. I'm going to request some marble. Some obsidian. And also some flux stone. Cages, bags. Again, this is autumn of year 101, so this is the second time I've gone through this process. And again, apologies if this is not the most interesting part of the game. I'm trying to do well economically so that Type A sector. I keep meaning to dedicate a sector to my manager. I feel like they should have one. Okay, that'll do. So unpause. I'm doing 36 items. Not bad. How does it look so far? Good? It's getting there. Oops. Let's put down some decorations. Let's go back up and see if we're ready for the... Yep, we are. We're ready for the trader. The broker. Mark all. And these are the things that I requested last year. So I know that these are, by and large, things that I want. This, my candy that you stole. See what I go through. Well, we have an iron pick. Okay, yeah, why not? We'll take that. We'll take that silver. Do we want a silver spear? I'd rather have a silver mace. But I will take the silver spear. Yeah, okay. Scroll down to the bags. I do have a bit of a bag shortage. Okay. Get down. Come on. Go eat your apple. Alright, so that concludes trading. More migrants, I see. And I'm almost at the point where I can put down a clothier and a loom and such. So I'm just prioritizing the clearing of these spaces over here. We'll designate some more stockpile. Taking a look at the new migrants that we've got. I'm curious to see what their skills are. Here we go. Make pig iron, make steel. We need that. Stop training. But we could probably add a few more people now. Oh yeah. Boom. Okay, so we've at least managed to fill up the squad at this point. So that's not nothing. Clothing and leather. We have a leather works. A loom. A clothier. And dye is something that I almost never bother with. I do have a leather worker. So I think what we'll have this guy do, since I just bought some leather, we will make some leather bags, but we'll also prioritize some leather armor. Just a few pieces. We'll get that started. Someone who can specialize in clothing. But I can go ahead and assign this other weaver, and he can become a clothier. Call him Louis Vuitton. He is just making bags. already got somebody possessed and taking over the leatherworks to make who knows what. Okay. Small problem, I'm running out of drinks. Last time we planted some rice, some fisher berries, which make fisher berries make, what do they make? Some type of swampy wine or whiskey or something. We'll go ahead and plant, oh, let's see, rope weeds for textiles would be nice. It's handy to label the plots. Set that to fertilize every season, which is kind of aspirational at this point. I don't think I have enough ash to produce enough potash to take care of all these fields right now, but that's okay. We'll do some strawberries. Dwarves like variety in their drinks, of course. Right? Going back to the fortifications at the surface. I do think I'll dedicate another dwarf to mining. Probably this fisher dwarf. Because I'm early enough into the game that I really don't care much about fishing yet. So I'd rather give him something more productive to do, which is mining. And I did just acquire another pickaxe, so there's no reason he can't get involved and start helping out. We really need to excavate basement 2, I guess we could say, in order to complete the moat. Aha! I've noticed something. There should be a staircase right there. And somehow that got overlooked. So we'll remove that floor and we'll construct a staircase. cow that I didn't even know I had went missing. And I see that the dwarves have been too busy to train any of my dogs as war dogs. I think that was something that I designated pretty early, and it still hasn't gotten done, simply because there's a lot going on right now, and I don't have enough people. We'll get there eventually. Oh, and another thing to think about is what I will do first on the world map. Because I'm noticing we have a mysterious lair just next door with an artifact that's ripe for the plundering. Peace with all these goblins. That would be a shame if something were to happen to that. Low populations mostly, I'm seeing. So I think that there needs to be a catapult here and here. That's another thing that I can get working on. We can work on some ballista arrows. Wooden ones are kind of useless, but I do have a lot of wood. If nothing else, I can sell those later once I have arrows that are made of at least copper quality. I can always sell these if I don't need them, but I think that it's better to have something loaded in my ballista right now rather than having them sit empty and unusable. Catapult parts. Let's see. Rambutan. Okay. Well, once again, things are going. Should we make some bronze? Yeah, okay. Should we have a bowyer? Also probably a yes. just for fun, I'm going to, because I'm all about the role-playing and the immersion and the decorating, I'm going to assign my expedition leader a crown, since I made some, might as well. Where's the crown? Has someone claimed it? Am I crazy, or is there no crown on this list? I see scepters. Okay, so never mind. But I will go to the manager and assign the manager a nice little scepter. This one here is of decent quality. And we will call it the something something staff of authority. Okay. There. I feel like these things are good for morale, but what do I know? Do I have an amulet that I can give my bookkeeper? Rings. Nope. I think we're good so far with what we have. So basically at this point, I'm just waiting for orders to be filled. I'm waiting for all of this channeling to happen. Water is not going to need a floodgate or anything. It's just going to fill up and maintain itself perfectly. So now that this has been channeled out, I can put in the bow ear that I was thinking about. I can put in a jeweler now. I don't believe I had a jeweler. I think that's good for now. My wild children, I'm still streaming. If you can keep it together for a few more minutes. Spoiler alert, they can't and didn't. Talented bowyer, okay. I will take that. I've got some bone, at least some. So I may as well turn that bone into something useful. I have an expert gem cutter. Give me something to do. Just checking to make sure all the things are singing. This is a game that really does require a lot of multitasking. And especially when you're playing in vanilla without some of the more common mods. Like there's a mod that makes alerts audible. Without that mod, it's so easy to miss important pop-ups. You know, my dwarves might be getting killed. There could be a forgotten beast. There's not a forgotten beast because I haven't tunneled into the caverns yet. Which is a bit unusual for me. I don't usually wait too long to start digging down into that first cavern layer. Because I know that if nothing else, I can always wall it off. And even if I'm not actively using the cavern layer right away, at least the spores will come up and give me places where I can pasture my animals underground. So that's... That's something that I typically am not afraid to do early on. I guess we could say that I'm being more careful this time around just because of the new update, and I don't know how much more dangerous that will be this time around. And I'm just trying to play things a little bit safe, because after all, I'm putting all this care into, the organization of the fortress, and it could all be lost in a heartbeat. And it probably will, anyway. Okay, so we can put a catapult here. We can put catapult on the other side. You know what? We can even put a catapult right here. Why not? Better to have them, I think, and not need them. Snowdub. Cut Snowdub's knee. His child's name is Nako Demon Evil. That's a little bit on the nose. Two lovers, 13 children. You do you. That, I think, is going to have to be that. I have some unruly wild children that need to be tamed. And when I come back in a few days, I'm hopeful that we will start to see some real movement on the ground here.
Come out here! Come out here! Come out here!